All-Star Game presented by Area 51 Sports. Getting underway in 10 minutes time. At this time, we're going to congratulate all of our sponsors for the winner. Doing for the University of Toronto. Football Toronto. And also, for Denver Rapids. Area 51 Sports. York University. CIUCSM. And we're getting our sports. Good afternoon, football fans. Once again, welcome to the Toronto High School All-Star Game presented by Area 51 Sports. At this time, we'd ask both teams to line up on their respective 45-yard lines. To get our proceedings underway, ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able to remove your hats to the singing of our national anthem. Performing the anthem for us today, Janke from John Poliani Elite Institute.
And welcome to York University in Toronto as we get set for the Area 51 All-Star Game featuring East versus West. Dana McKeel alongside Dan Domenico bringing you all the action here on YouTube as we're brought to you by Area 51 with supporting sponsors the Royal Canadian Legion, York University, CIUT Radio, University of Toronto Varsity Blues, NFL Canada, the Toronto Argonauts, and the Royal Canadian Legion, as well as the Canadian Armed Forces. Going out to do the opening ceremonies and the coin toss is Andy Carastinos, Sergeant of the Canadian Armed Forces. And we just heard a rousing rendition from Gabby Lawes, anthem singer from John Palani High School here in Toronto. Dan will be playing 4 quarters, and we've got our rosters finally. And wow, this is going to be quite an adventure today as we call this game.
Yeah, well, you know, if you think about it, this is really the culmination of the football season in the GTA here. And after this game, the only games that are left for these players to play are going to be are going to OFSA. So, you know, today is the culmination of 3. This will be the 3rd game in of our trio of championship games to end football in the city of Toronto for this year.
It's been quite a season at that, as we just witnessed with the Metro Bowl Championship, 39th Metro Bowl, won by Brampton St. Roch this year in a victory over Northern Red Knights. And we also saw the Tier 2 Championship as well with the Leaside Lancers and the Henry Carr Crusaders. Leaside coming out on top in that victory as well, Dan.
Well, that was a game that went right down to the very last couple of possessions, and in the second game, St. Roch was full value for a dominating performance in the Metro Bowl.
The East All-Stars will be in the light blue jerseys, the West team in the dark jerseys, and the boundaries include all teams and schools east of St. Michael's College School. And going eastbound and west, we've seen many terrific players come from the West over the past couple of years. This is the second annual All-Star Game. Last year's All-Star Game, again, was held here at York University.
Well, you know what it is. It's not exactly like Magnetic North, but it's probably like the subway that runs right through St. Mike's College there is sort of our dividing line between the two, right?
That's, what do they know that as? Line 1. It is Line 1 that goes up and down.
Yeah, you know what? It might as well be Line 1 East and Line 1 West.
So. Put the size of it, yeah. The officials for this matchup, Dan, as we've got the officials, courtesy of all officials here in Toronto, just looking.
Well, and they did practice at St. Mike's as well, so it was certainly our central location for all of this.
Looking at the officials, there we go, and Brian Schouten, the referee, Mike Duncan, the umpire, the back umpire, Dave Kersinger, the back judge, Avery Cole, the line judge, Dan Maxwell, and the down judge is the infamous Bob Pawlowski, the legendary Bob Pawlowski. And it's great to see Bob is still in action, Dan. We've seen him for many years.
Holy cow, he's as old as me.
If not older.
He's doing a hell of a job out there.
He's older than you, Dan. And we've got band action here today as well to provide for all the pomp and circumstance of high school football, and that's courtesy of Jennifer Scott Barnier and the band from W.L. Mackenzie High School here in North York. 4 quarters, and as football fans will recognize that it'll be a different kickoff. It'll be what we normally see in the NFL.
Well, this is a sight you certainly don't see in Canada that often, that's for sure.
It's time for football.
No, you don't. But these are the best of the best out on the football field here right now. And the kick, and here's the reaction. And running right into the punt team.
29 on the attack. 59 on the attack. Jay Shepard on the return.
So that was Jay Shepard making a great tackle there.
Looks like we're going to have a team of people commenting on the teams and the players here today, Dan.
Well, you know what?
These rosters are all over the map.
Well, certainly special teams are going to be exciting because typically in the NFL, most of the kickers are just kicking it through the end zone anyways, and they're taking a knee. You're going to be seeing lots of returns here. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, big front five for the West Team All-Stars. And we see a number of them from schools like Richview, Etobicoke.
There he is again. 59 on the tackle.
Wow.
6 on the carry.
Same matchup, Jay Shepard on the carry. Tackle by number 59, Tristan Dowdy.
Tristan Dowdy on the tackle. Jake Shepard, we're going to see a lot of Dan here today. He's a guy that runs pretty much upright and has good moves as he hits the line. He's got a good acceleration.
5'10", 175, 180.
Well, we have J.J. Robinson at quarterback.
And here's Robinson with a nice pass and good catch as well. J.J. Robinson from David Suzuki High School, a ROPSA school, just outside of Toronto.
Well, that's Nick Pagnini on the catch, and he just ran a quick little slant in, picked up the first down, nice pass. I think we're going to have a little bit of fun here watching this game today.
And Nick Pagnini as well. And a lot of these players know each other, not just from the high school circuit, but also from the OFC circuit
Of course,
and
yeah,
formerly the
they would be
OVFL.
playing each other in the summer leagues. That's 100%
And
true.
Nick Pagnini of Robert Hall Secondary School as well, another school based out in Brampton, Mississauga. And this is number 1, Lamar Kedro. And Kedro's got great speed as he brings it to the east 35-yard line.
Take a look. That was the same play we saw in our first game. Or I should say our Metro Bowl game with St. Roch. He just ran the jet sweep around the end, and Lamar Kedro did a nice job running it.
So that's a first down for the West Division All-Stars here in this Area 51 All-Star game from Toronto, from York University in the North York area of Toronto. High snap. They hand off.
97. 6 on the carry.
And that was Jay Shepard on the carry.
Yeah, there was a little. There looked like a little bit of bootleg action on that, but Jay Shepard was hit right in the backfield. Looks like they lost almost 5 or 6 yards on the play.
No question they're going to utilize Jay Shepard an awful lot today. Don't forget the Jay Shepard from Etobicoke Collegiate. Head coach is Paul Diaz.
Northfield's 97 back there in right hand.
Shotgun. And getting around one defender.
14 tackle back.
And the East Division is going to shut this one down right at the line of scrimmage. That's a loss on the play.
J.J. Robinson initially looked deep, but the deep man was covered, and especially since they were second and long, and he decided just to eat it himself, but he wasn't able to pick up the first down. Really nice job tackling that time.
So it'll be a third down situation for the West Division All-Stars. Again, we're in shotgun. And getting around a couple of other defenders as well, but the East Division All-Stars are showing that front four can really take the lead on tackle.
Well, you know what? I mean, that was a really good coverage sack that time. I mean, all the receivers, I looked downfield, every one of those receivers was covered, and that was they tried for it on third down, and so we have a turnover, and East is going to be able to show us what they got on offense right now.
The East Division All-Stars are led by head coach Darrell Adams, the head coach of the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. The West Division led by Dexter Janke, the head coach of York University Lions. And that pass was right through the hands of the intended receiver on the play.
Mackay Phillips pass falls incomplete.
Mackay Phillips is our quarterback right now, and just failed to connect that time.
Mackay Phillips, as we know from Brooklyn High School, that's from Lhasa, which is the East region, Durham region of just east of Toronto. And the handoff. Good acceleration coming out of the backfield, and wow. They're just keeping the offensive sets very simple, but they excel very well. That's Kaylin Gray Stapleton
Yeah,
from
Kaylin Gray
Portsmouth.
Stapleton. I mean, they, interesting call, actually. It was second and long, and they went with the handoff, and so far we've seen the defense has done a really good job for the West. But as you said before, there is no kicking, so they're going for it on third down.
Here's Mackay Phillips as he rolls out of the pocket. He's looking long distance, and the West Division shuts him down. That's a loss as the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Good pressure that time on Mackay Phillips, but he did have a man open running along the sideline, and I think he needed to just get rid of the ball a little sooner, and they might have had a chance of the completion. So they take the ball over on downs. As you said, there's going to be a lot of turnovers here because they have to go for it on third down. There's no punting allowed today.
Dan, we've got Adam Carlson, former quarterback here from York University, also a star MVP player from Georges Vanier High School back in the mid-'80s, 84 and 85. When he played for Georges Vanier, they won a Metro Bowl.
Well, he was the MVP of the game, wasn't he? When
That's
they played?
right. Yep. And he's here on the sidelines today, and he took part with the opening ceremonies.
And were they not playing in what they used to call the Peanut Plaza way back then?
And it's still called the Peanut Plaza. It's still there.
It's still there.
Another great player that played alongside, two great players that played with him in that Vanier lineup. Both went on to play CFL football in Mike Campbell and Keith Costello.
Right. Well, I remember he beat up our team pretty good in that Metro Bowl that year. So and it was a cold day for the first Metro Bowl game that was played.
Oh, very cold. And I believe that involved West Hill Collegiate, or was it Johnny McDonald that played? And we'll have to check that one out. I forget my notes here, but certainly
That's
players playing
okay.
at
We're
that
old.
time.
We get to mess up.
Woburn. It was Woburn Collegiate that played. Against,
and that would have been Jim Henderson.
Jim Henderson and Ken Henderson. Some great moments in Metro Bowl history. And don't forget the 87-88 squads won by Central Tech, led by the head coach, Chuck Wakefield, and quarterback Cosby Jackson.
We have...
So the call on the field by Brian Shoughton is that they're going to move the sticks.
Instead of going on third down, they're going to give them X number of yards, and then they'll go the other way.
Okay, so apparently they are changing the ruling. Instead of going for it on third down, they're just going to give them X number of yards for a punt, and instead of bringing the special teams in, because they really haven't had a chance to practice special teams and so forth. So rather than having to go for it on second and long on their own 10, they just or a third and 10, they're just going to be able to invoke the yardage.
Certainly explains why the officials came over to see Chairman George Gredis get direction on this game. West Division All-Stars looking to go with the pass. It's caught and out of bounds. That's going to be for close to a first down. That's bringing it out to about 44-yard line.
That was Lamar Kendrow dancing for a little bit after he made the catch. You're going to see him just come out of he comes out of the slot position. He catches the ball, look at this, dances around for a few yards, and close to very first down. Look at that. He still picked up those extra 4 or 5 yards afterwards. Yak yards, right. Yards after catches.
Be a first down for the West Division All-Stars.
Yep. That's the name of the game today, is yak yardage. The yak
and
attacks.
they're going to run this one up the gut. Wow. And that was Aiden Monroe on the play.
The real challenge for the coaches in a game like today is making sure everybody gets a few touches, and you're still trying to win the game because you're trying to showcase everybody out here. They've come out to practice, and you want to give everybody their chance because they're all good players.
Nashawn Pleasant Blackman officially on the play. Shotgun again, the West Division All-Stars looking to go to the air. No, the quarterback's going to keep it, and he'll go out of bounds on the play. That's a first down.
We've got a flag down, though.
Flag to down.
J.J. Robinson.
Typically, it's sort of the holding call zone, but we'll wait for it. It is holding, I've been told.
So J.J. Robinson showing a little bit of flair here as he's able to keep the ball.
Well, the problem J.J. Robbins is having is what you have in every All-Star game. Everybody has to try to learn the concepts. They don't have a lot of time to learn all the concepts. And so if he doesn't see what he's expecting right away, the tendency is going to be for him to bail and try to get whatever yardage he can, especially since you have very good pass rushers on the other side. And it's easy for pass rushers, just line up, go, right? You're not having to learn a lot of concepts. You're either slanting or you're going. Here, the offense is a much more difficult time trying to put together their offense and being a cohesive unit.
Looking to go with a pass in the flat. And escapes one tackle. It's Lamar Kedro. And he's brought down at the 52-yard line. That's not enough for a first down.
And the little swing or hitch pass there is a perfect pass for this type of format, right? Where you just get the ball into space, into somebody that clearly has ability. In this case, we're talking about Lamar, and just let him go do his thing. And he picked up quite a bunch of yardage, and they're going to go close enough. They're going to go for it on third down.
Lamar Kedro from Davis Suzuki High School, another team out in the Peel region. 51-yard line. Here's JJ with the throw, and it's caught. Is it close to a first down?
Well, it's going to be short, and unfortunately that time, and again, it's typically because you don't have a lot of chance to practice, right? But the receiver didn't run at least first down yardage. He only, he ended up catching the ball 3 or 4 yards short. So it's. If you're going to run a route on third down, you've got to make sure you get first down yardage.
Daniel Stupar, the player on the play for the West Division All-Stars. It's a big front line for the East Division team. They're starting 5, no question, averages 6'3", about 250 each, minimum. And the East Division All-Stars looking to go to the air, and it's caught. This could go for a touchdown and forced out of bounds on the play.
Phillip takes to the air and catches Quinn O'Donoghue.
Quinn O'Donoghue, the receiver on the play from Mackay Phillips.
Out of bounds by number 4, Markin Davidovich.
Mackay hung it up just a little bit. If he had just let him a little bit, he would have easily get in there, but a great pass and catch. And we have the Aces threatening right now.
It was Quinn O'Donoghue from Brooklyn Secondary School, another school out in the Durham region. Here's Phillips as he rolls out of the pocket. And we got a flag coming up. And Phillip is down at about the 8-yard line.
Again, we have sort of the holding zone flag. We'll see what happens. But as he was rolling out, again, we had very good coverage that time by the defense. He didn't really have anybody to pass to, and so he ended up tucking it under and running. But it is holding. It is going to bring it back.
Number 45, Damian Neptune on the play, on the tackle for the West Division All-Stars.
What's Ted's last name? What? What's Ted's last name?
First and long for the East Division All-Stars. Mackay Phillips.
I just want to say I have referee Ted Goldberg standing beside me, feeding me all this information that the referees are telling us. So,
and they're going to shut this one down very quickly.
Yeah, a surprising call on second and I should say on first and 25 to hand it off, but.
Tackle made by number 99.
Kalen Gray Stapleton, the tailback on the play. So the ball placed at the 30-yard line, second and long for the East Division team.
Having said that, though, especially if you have dynamic running backs like clearly you're going to have in this game, on a first and long, typically if you think you're going to pass and you're not trying to pick up the 25 yards, you're just trying to pick it up so it's going to be manageable on second down.
Phillips looking long distance.
Oh,
what a catch!
Oh,
a beautiful catch!
Mackay Phillip complete to number 6, Quinn
No, it's-
Donahue.
Now it looks as though
Quinn
it's been
O'Donoghue
ruled a
on the play
non-catch.
from
It looks like it
Brooklyn
was
Secondary
ruled a
School.
non-catch.
Wow, what a catch.
Yeah, we're gonna see it on the replay here.
Oh, it's a catch.
Oh, I don't know. That was very close.
Want to see it again?
Sure.
Yes.
We'd love
Yes,
to
if we
see- yeah,
could
we're gonna-
get
we're
our
gonna-
replay again.
Unfortunately, just as he hits the ground, let's see what happens. It's very close.
Phillips again with the
Incomplete catch.
Over there.
Yeah,
great call by the
yeah,
official.
I think he's right. It did come out. Yes, he did. He picked it off the ground, but what a heck of an effort that time.
Official right on the play. 3rd and long.
Those darn officials are right again.
East Division is
Look at the defense on this play.
Ryan Webb.
setting up for the field goal attempt. And this one is
Good.
good. It's through the
Ryan Webb's
uprights.
Field goal attempt is good.
Takes all the pressure off the kicker.
The East goes ahead.
That was Ryan Webb comes up with the field goal for 3 points with 2:37 left here in the first quarter of play.
At least he didn't take a kickoff as though he was going to do a kickoff, in an 8-step run-up, right? So, well done, nicely done. Actually, this is this is a fun format where you get to see, players get to show what they have, and admittedly, it's not exactly the same of the game as a real game where you have issues on special teams, but we get to see lots of plays. We get to see the skills that the players have, and that's really what you want out of an all-star game.
And that's exactly right, Dan. We've seen these all-star games for many years in the past,
Yep.
whether they're played at University of Toronto or at Lamport Stadium. And it's great to see the comeback now in its second year.
Okay, we have an under route this time.
And what a tackle.
18
Horse
on
collar?
18.
I did not see it.
We see a flag came out. I'm not sure if it was called a horse collar or not, but
Nick Pagani.
Should be player safe.
yeah, Nick Pagani has caught the ball again. He's had a couple of nice catches, and that was just a simple clear out, and he came underneath the formation.
18, Mackay Thomas.
Nope.
Going back to the performance.
Oh, there goes.
Mackay Thomas comes up
Ted
on the
Gold-
tackle
Ted
for the
Goldberg
East Division
tells me it's
All-Stars.
holding, but it was holding after the first down, so they're giving him the first down. And now they still have to apply the penalty. Okay, but it's still going to be a first down.
So the ball will be placed at the 38-yard line of the West Division All-Stars. It'll be a 1st and 10 situation for the West. Dan, what do you expect of these All-Star games as we've seen them played in the past?
Well, when I used to coach them several years ago, the first thing is you have to get everybody into the game. Everybody comes out to practice. Everybody deserves a chance to play. They're clearly a star in their team, and now we're going to wait. Oh, no, it's not. It's been ruled incomplete. Nice attempt that time. But, so it's sort of a feeling out process, right? And not everybody has learned the offense as well as other people, especially when you have a compressed amount of time, especially on offense. Like defense is a little bit simpler, right? Offenses, though, can really be different from one school to the next, whereas defenses, most teams are going to play some sort of a 42 with a 5-man shell or whatever, depending on, the type of league they're in.
Hassan Malik on the play for the West Division All-Stars. And here's J.J. Robinson. And he gets a pass away, and it's caught. Goes out of bounds on the play.
Yeah, there's Pagani again making a nice catch. He was able to work himself open, and Robinson made a nice throw on the run here to connect with him.
That's a first down for the West Division All-Stars.
My mistake. That was 88. My mistake was that was Hassan Malik. Yeah, that was Hassan Malik, not Pagani. Yeah, no, we messed up. It was 88, not 18. You're absolutely right. So that was Malik.
Hassan Malik with the reception. Here's JJ looking to get the ball away. It was blocked. And a whistle on the play.
Blocked by 79.
79.
How would you feel about 29?
But it was 79.
But I don't have a 79.
Maybe 29.
How about 29?
Paul Carter.
Paul Carter.
So it'll be a second down situation for the West All-Stars.
Well, the jerseys were just handed out today, so that's why we have some confusion with the numbers.
Shotgun. A little bit of a
Ooh.
twist and trying to make it through the line.
That was close to a face mask too, but that was a hard-fought yard or two that time. Okay, that was Deshaun James on that time on the run. He had to work really hard for those couple of yards.
And Javon Phillips on the tackle as well for the East Division All-Stars. East Division looking to win again this year, Dan, after they took the victory last year. Third down situation for the West. JJ looking to go again with the pass.
18.
Yeah. Yeah, so this time it was Pagani. We had 18, and he ran the same route he ran before, that under route that he was very successful on the previous time. This time the linebackers, were able to pick it up, and he only picked up a few yards. So we're going to have a change of possession take place right here.
Nick Pagani on the play, and that's the end of the first quarter of play. The East leading the West 3-0, Dan.
At the end of the first quarter of play, the West no score. The East.
Ryan Webb with the only score, a field goal with 2:37 left in the first quarter of play.
Well, a few years ago I did a tour of Philadelphia's baseball stadium, and we were able to go up into the press box, or not the press box, the announcer's booth. And the guy said, he said, wait, watch this. He pressed the button. And while we had the open air stadium, we could see everything. They pressed the button, and all of a sudden the glass, window came down, but it was magnified. I wonder if York can get that for their stadium here, right?
Wow.
It was the freakiest thing, like all of a sudden you saw the magnifying, you saw the players up close. It was really cool.
I'm sure York University Athletics has that on quick order.
I'm going to ask George Grett if it's in the budget for maybe next year. So
That's awesome. So a second down situation for the East Division All-Stars, 2nd and 8. Second quarter of play, high snap.
40.
Almost knocked down on the play, Dan. Some good defense being played.
Yeah, that was 45. That was
Damian Neptune.
Jackson Nelson, 45, made the knock down the ball here. We're going to see, really nice play by Jackson. Oh no!
So we got Damian Neptune on that
I
block.
apologize. No, that I said the East defense. It was, you're right. It was, that was my mistake.
And the pass, and it bounces a couple of times. There's playing ping pong with the ball.
Playing pinball.
Yeah.
Yes.
The West Division almost able to come up with the ball, Dan.
Well, we'll watch it again here. Oh, so close.
So we continue to experience chilly weather out here right now. Temperature's gone down to about 3 or 4 Celsius.
Well, we can see the sun's go. Well, the sun clearly is going. It's starting to get darker. The lights have come on in the stadium, and we still have the wind gusting the way it has all day long. It appears as though instead of it going down the field, though, it's starting to come across the field right now, the wind.
Certainly a factor for both the East and West All-Star teams. And the pass,
Well, we have
throw it away.
Well, we have a change of quarterback now. We have Joe Ferlito, sorry, excuse me. We have
Joe Ferlito.
Yeah, we have Joe Ferlito in now, who is in at quarterback, taking over from J.J. Robinson. But you can expect that, right? We're into another quarter now, so each quarterback's probably going to get about half the game, so they'll each get about a quarter. That's generally how they work these things. And if one quarterback has a hot hand and we're getting close to the end of the game, they might put them back in.
And the East Division All-Stars are going to shut down that second down opportunity very quickly.
25 on the carry,
So
22 on the tackle.
the ball will be placed officially at the 35-yard line. It'll be a third down for the West Division All-Stars.
Yeah. Yeah, Carter Longsley was in there. You know, they have a huge front four there that make it really difficult to run right now.
Too bad we couldn't pick up this game and play it in Hawaii like all the other All-Star games. Especially this time of year.
I've been to that stadium.
Aloha Stadium as the quarterback trying to make it past the line of scrimmage.
By number 72.
And that was Joe Ferlito. No place to go, no place to hide on the play.
92, 42, 92. So close.
Yeah, Isaiah Osborne Charles on the tackle there.
Isaiah Osborne Charles.
I'd like to see you get that on the back of a jersey.
That'd be too expensive.
Osborne Charles,
I think I'd have to change my name to IO.
Isaiah playing a very strong ball game out there right now for the East Division All-Stars. And you have to really you have to impress your coaches in order to be able to play in this All-Star game, because many these All-Stars are coach nominated. And the East Division looking to run the ball.
You know, the whole point of this is the best of the best. And so,
Yep.
you know, and sometimes it's a hard adjustment, as we were talking about before, for people to make, is that, you know, when you're sort of the king of the hill of your team there, and you're the best athlete, you know, you just have certain expectations. But when you come to a situation like this, when you look around where everybody is as good as you, it's like the difference from going from high school up to university, and all of a sudden you're looking, oh, there's good athletes around me or better. You know, how do you deal with that?
Long distance. Going to long distance on the play, Dan, and that was intended for number 80, Jack Bourlet.
Yeah, he showed a nice throwing arm there into the wind that time, but they just couldn't connect.
Roulette had pretty good range there, being able to get down the field that quickly. Third down situation for the East All-Stars. Ball on the 34.
Well, Mackay Phillips has shown a strong arm, if it hasn't been accurate yet, but they've, both quarterbacks have been under significant pressure so far. Just like right now, he's running for his life.
Quick snap.
Whoa, well, look at this.
Mackay Phillips.
Quarterback eventually wound up and tackled by 97.
And he was brought down on the play behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Mackay was able to sort of juke a little bit back and forth and elude a couple of tacklers, but the third one certainly got him. Number
Jeremiah
92.
Brown, that's a whole lot of love coming at him.
You know what? There's too much love out there for some of these quarterbacks right now, okay? The whole field is just weighed down by love right now. These are big boys out there right now.
They're all destined for university or post-secondary football.
And that's why we have a lot of university coaches here scouting them here, seeing what they can do. And as I said, they love seeing how they play against other good players. That's really what it's all about.
1st and 10 for the West All-Stars. Looking to go with the pass.
6 on the carry, 50 on the tackle.
So again, we're seeing Jay Shepard.
Well, typically in this type of format, the simplest plays are sometimes the most effective, simply because you don't have time to practice, the really intricate timing plays. Here, they just, again, swing a running back out, or just throw the ball to slot back, let him catch the ball, and let him use his athletic ability to pick up a few yards. And it didn't look like much, but he picked up close to 6.5 yards there, giving him a reasonable second down yardage to go for here.
Here's the West Division All-Stars, second down situation. In the pocket with a pass that's just low and short.
Well, they tried to call Pagani's number again with that under route, and they just missed. As I said, it was successful before, but he just missed them, put it a little bit too much in front.
3-0, 6:53 left here in the second quarter of play. Dana McKeel, Dan Domenico bringing you all the action from York University in Toronto. Third down situation for the West Division All-Stars. High snap again. Looking at Joe Ferlito. And Ferlito's quite a leader out there, Dan. He's certainly providing all kinds of direction out there for the West Division offense.
80. Yeah, and again, just that's Abraham Barnadell, who just ran a little stop route for just a little hook. Went out about 8 or 9 yards, just enough for the first down. Good toss that time.
1st and 10 for the West Division All-Stars. Ferlito with the pass. That was a fake on a handoff and go with the pass, and they bring it out to the 50-yard line.
And again, that's Pagani that we talked about. He did just a quick little slant inside. Really nice throw from Ferlito. Like, look at how quickly he gets away this ball right here after. That's a great pass right there.
Great communication, great chemistry between those two players.
Well, so far we're seeing, that, they're clearly impressed with Nick Pagani's hands. He seems to be a very reliable receiver, runs good routes.
Ferlito on the handoff. This is Jay Shepard. Shepard gets down to the 40, the 30. He's got good acceleration. He's looking for the end zone. Touchdown, West Division All-Stars.
Wow, great acceleration that time by Shepard.
With a touchdown, West Division All-Stars.
I mean, as soon as he turned that corner, you could tell nobody was going to catch him all the way into the end zone. What a great run. That was a really nice series that time, led by Joe Fertillo. It's a nice drive all the way down the field, capped off by the great run that time by Jay Shepard.
We called Jay Shepard's name an awful lot here in the first half, and you're correct, Dan. Joe Ferlito, and he's doing a good job out there here in the second quarter of play.
Well, he started off with a couple of shaky passes, but now that he's been able to get a few series under his feet, that was a really nice drive that time.
Setting up for the convert. This is number 4, Markian Davidich.
Number 4, yes.
Here's
Markian
Davidich with the kick, and it's good.
Very nice.
Markian Davidovich's extra point is good.
7-4, the West leads the East. It's 7-3 as 5:20 left here in the second quarter of play. I thought my eyes were deceiving me on the score.
No, it's just a scoreboard. They messed up. So.
Yeah, Dan, you led into this All-Star game coming at the right time and leading into the OFSA Bowl Championship Series. And to check the website, ofsa.on.ca, but also check the website for Football Toronto at footballtoronto.org. It's a wealth of information, very much links to various events and various properties and content, and a lot of photos. There's always got to be one guy that doesn't know if he's on or off the field. And they'll set up for the kick. Here's the kick. And the East Division on the return. Get it out to the 20. He's out to the 30 and got rocked and still standing.
That was a heck of a collision there, but he took it and bounced off. That was
Adam DeNoble. So DeNoble brings it out.
DeNoble took a heck of a hit there. Look at that. He just bounces off, and he picked up those extra yards. Like
the mark of a strong running back.
It's interesting. I'm not sure which format produces the bigger impacts. Whether starting from your own 45-yard line and having to run all the way down, right, or else just getting the short run and just clobbering somebody. It's.
I thought that was the whole idea to prevent.
Yeah, I'm still mixed to see which one is. I mean, I mean, clearly, you know, I mean, they want to try to reduce, you know, the number of injuries and things like that, and maybe increase the number of opportunities for returns. But
the pass was initially caught, but they're going to rule it incomplete. That was Andreas Canero. You know, on the reception, Dan, I thought he had it.
well, it looked like he did. He dropped it. He did he's trying to run a route underneath the linebackers. Good pass. Just didn't catch it.
The more I'm looking at this turf, the more I'm thinking we got to take this game to Hawaii.
Well, we'll ask George and see if it's in the budget for next year. Oh, nice move.
Mackay Phillip, and he gets around a couple of defenders. He's got it over center, and he goes out of bounds, tackled out of bounds.
Wow.
At the West Division 45-yard line. Good run for Mackay Phillip.
What a run that time by Mackay is right.
Good athlete.
He's a grade 10 athlete too? Wow. Mackay's a grade 10 athlete, and he's made a couple of spectacular plays so far.
So they're going to bring this one back. There was a flag on the play. And they're going to measure this back to second and long, Dan. The ball's brought back to the 37-yard line.
Well, 10 yards. I mean, I guess we must have had our holding there, right? Which usually it was an illegal block. Thanks to Ted Goldberg for clarifying that.
High snap. Phillips.
Whoa.
Looking with the pass, and this one's caught.
Wow, that was really impressive. Like Mackay Phillips knew he was going to get rocked. Watch this. Stood in there and still threw the ball, and maybe they could have even called like hands to the face there. He got rocked there, and then a nice catch as well.
Adam DeNoble, who brings it out to the West Division 51-yard line. That's a good pass catch.
That was a heck of a play right there.
Yeah. Mackay Phillip able to get up off the turf and get back into the huddle.
I mean, even at much higher levels, I mean, you don't see quarterbacks are willing to stand in there and get whacked like that.
No, they'll be running for their lives.
And as we said, this is a grade 10 kid.
Yo, yeah. They hand off, and they're going to drive this one right up the gut.
Wow, what
this
a run.
is a
Keep
lot
going.
of power.
Keep running. What a run right there.
Wow. That was
Kalen Frey Stapleton. As right. And as we just heard him, that is how you run behind your pads, as one of the coaches watching this game said. What a run.
Kalen Frey Stapleton looked like Fred Flintstone going through the line with the bedrock boulders.
Well, or he was late for his Brontosaurus burger, one thing or other. I mean, because
he was looking for one. And they fake on the handoff, and Mackay Phillips is going to try and get around a couple of defenders. He's gang tackled on the play.
He's a pretty thin guy, but he's wiry and very tough to bring down. And that was a really good fake that time to Stapleton.
I'm looking at him and thinking he's similar to Brandon Bridges, if you remember him from St. Marcelinius. Tall quarterback who eventually made his way to the CFL. So a second down situation, the ball at the 31 of the West Division.
That was a lot of work that time by Mackay just to pick up a yard, but it's better than the sack he probably would have taken if he wasn't able to avoid all those tacklers.
Just over 2 minutes left here in the half. There's Mackay Phillips. He's got 3 receivers coming off the line.
He has a man.
He's going to get rocked. And almost caught.
That was Carson Benavides, who had the ball in his hands. He initially had, that time Mackay had the receiver wide open in the seam. If he had just thrown it to him quickly, he still was able to get the ball, even though it wobbled a little bit to Benavides, who should have caught the ball for a touchdown.
Carson Benavides with the name, very popular name, Dan, if you remember back to the 80s with Central Tech.
Well, Benavides, and then, of course, going on to coach in the CFL.
Exactly. Long history in the CFL as both an an offensive line coach and as a head coach. Here's Mackay Phillips again, being chased out of the pocket. And he unleashes with the pass.
Oh, no. What another.
Almost caught. That was a terrific play, throwing off his body like that.
Mackay Phillips, okay, almost gets caught throwing across his body. Look at this, almost 35 yards and a pass that probably could have been caught right there.
He's back down.
And we've got 2 flags down. And Mackay Phillips is still down. Like, boy, what a great effort on his part. And he just hasn't had cooperation from his receivers the last couple of plays because he's made the plays. They just didn't catch the ball, but certainly that was going to be a roughing the passer right there and moves the ball up.
Well, a lot of pressure coming from the left side. Chizurum Celestine Albert, the defensive end for the West Division team, with an extreme amount of pressure
15-yard penalty.
coming at Mackay Phillips.
Well, with Mackay down, I think we're going to have a chance to see Joe Nash come into the game right now and see if he can punch this in for the East All-Stars.
Joe Nash, number 8 in the lineup, number 1 in your heart. And here he is at the 20-yard line. So Mackay Phillips will be helped off the field. He'll go to the bench.
Maybe for you, Dana, but my wife has to be number 1 in my heart for me. Okay?
Very true.
So
Very good point. Shout out to Kathy while you can.
I will.
And
Who's the better golfer?
so Joe Nash in the game. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, and all our football fans, Tom Grettis is in the press box.
Well, this is I think our first chance to see Joe, isn't it, so far in this game? We'll see if he can punch this in for the score for the East.
Bit of a delay in the game as the officials get it
Here we go.
underway. So here's Joe Nash. 3 receivers coming off the line. A little bit of a delay in the handoff and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That was a vicious tackle.
The timing that time sort of messed it up for Stapleton that time. We've got another flag, though.
Caleb Stapleton on the ball carrier. Flags are down.
Looked like Mason Franco DeReich on the tackle. And looked to be a high tackle. The official, Bob Pulowski, on the scene.
Yeah, certainly. I think you're right. It was probably a high tackle. They're moving it up another. It'll be halfway to the goal line now. They're
West Division.
So
full
officially
15. I've been corrected again. It's
called
the full
unnecessary
15
roughness.
for the unnecessary roughness. It's the full 15. Absolutely.
15-yard penalty.
Thanks again to Ted Goldberg.
Down.
So that the ball's gonna be marched right to the goal line. Dan, this is quite a penalty.
Wow, they've put the ball on 1 yard line.
So a chance to score with 1:50 left here in the half. And Joe Nash at the helm, replacing Mackay Phillip, who went off with an injury just a couple of downs ago. And the shotgun, they're going to go with the pass.
Interesting. They decided to go with the pass right there on the 1 yard line. I mean,
Adam DeNoble was the intended receiver on the play as we took a look at the replay, Dan.
yeah, I'm not going to question it, but I mean, you do have Kalen Stapleton there that's shown the ability to run pretty hard. I think I would just punch it in here with him.
Looking at Storm Parberry, Key, who playing the offensive tackle
However,
position.
to be fair, in this type of format, you're trying to give everybody a chance. And now they gave it to Kalen, and he just ran it in. But
That's Kalen Gray Stapleton, touchdown. The East Division All-Stars.
yeah, he walked in untouched here. You're going to see.
Well, that offensive line opened up a big hole for him too, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, really nice job right there. Yeah. I mean,
You drive a tractor trailer through it.
it was a nice kick-out block that time.
The score coming with 1:42 left in the half.
Well, maybe an import. Not sure. A North American tractor trailer. So.
Stapleton. And the kick is good. Convert counts.
The extra point is good. The score of the ball game, the West Division 7, the East
So
Division
with a minute
10.
42 left, we've seen the East jump ahead in this game.
So the East Division leading the West 10-7 with just over a minute left here in the first half of play. Dan, you ever play in an All-Star game?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think if we didn't have All-Star games back in my day. I coached lots of All-Star games, but I didn't play any back.
Certainly.
Of course, back then, we had horse-drawn carriages and things like that.
Very good point. I didn't want to say it, but very good point.
Leather helmets. That's right. With the leather helmets without the without the mouth guards and things like that, and we had cardboard for knee pads and things like that. So.
Who did they beat?
And when the balls got wet, they were almost like soccer balls, right? So.
And what do you think of this format for the All-Star game with it set up NFL style?
Interesting. Like I said, I know they've gone to this to sort of, they want to reduce the number of injuries that you have, especially the blocking type of injuries that you get in the, especially when you're in the NFL. I don't know if it creates more excitement or not. I think I'd have to watch it a little bit more, see what the data is, but certainly it's interesting. They can't move, until the ball's picked up.
Wow. Blazing speed brought out to the 40-yard line.
I just don't see this being any safer.
1st and 10 for the West Division All-Stars.
No, I agree. I'm not sure this is safer. I think, because the players have a shorter run, and they haven't had to run those 40 yards just to get to that point. So if they're trying to, at least here in the high school game, if you were trying to reduce the number of injuries, I'm not sure that's going to happen. But, you have to give it some time and see what the long-term data is here.
And the West Division, offensive unit out on the field. And the quick pass. And for the West Division, that's
Lamar. Lamar Kedrow again, and as I said, for these teams so far, especially for the West, just swinging the balls out to their receivers who have.
Kedrow, the ball carrier, he was tackled by number 50, Sasha Krajalo.
Did he fumble the ball?
Ball is fumbled and recovered by Sasha Krajalo.
I'm just asking because they just trotted out the defense and the offense.
So an opportunity for the West Division All-Stars, and they just couldn't take advantage of it.
No, they couldn't. So the East has got the ball back again.
The East Division has the momentum on their side.
And it looks like JJ's back in the game here. Or excuse me, Mackay, I should say, is back in the game.
Mackay Phillip, 1st and 10 for the East Division All-Stars, looking to go to the air. And the pass is caught.
Pass is caught by number 4, tackled by 24.
That's Adam DeNoble on the reception.
Complete to number 4.
Yeah, he ran just a little 4-yard stop route or whatever.
So they'll measure it off at center. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the East Division All-Stars.
Well, they have a minute and 15 left, which is, as we talked about before, a lot of time in Canadian football to move the ball down the field. They're going to have to go downfield, eventually down here, but if they can pick up another first down.
Is her therapist here? Or?
Oh,
Whoa, look out. Quarterback sack.
Sacked by
The West Division coming up
99.
big time with the tackle.
Guy Phillips sacked on the play by number 95,
Oh, that's the Richmond kid.
Gabriel Cassie.
Gabriel Cassie on the tackle.
Not him.
Wow, that's like a Mack truck coming at you.
So they must have been.
3rd down situation for the East All-Stars as the ball is placed on the 50-yard line.
yeah, well, Mackay had virtually no time to throw that ball that time as as Cassie just came in and got to him before he even had a chance to set up. I mean, he'd basically just take his drop, and he was already in his face.
East Division All-Stars with a 10-7 lead. 58 seconds left here in the half. And the West Division wants to talk things over. Dan, see lots of scouts and coaches on the sidelines from all the various universities across the province and the country, actually.
Well, the beauty of the format here is sometimes all you need to do is see one play, just one thing the player can do that, all of a sudden the coach says, really, sparks the imagination of a coach, a play that, you realize not everybody can make, or just an athletic movement or something they can work with that would make this person attractive to their program.
Third down situation for the East Division All-Stars. 3rd and 12. Mackay Phillips has got trips coming off the left side, and we got a whistle on the play.
Well, looks like there was movement on the left side of the line for the East team, so I have a feeling this is going to bring them back 5 yards.
These players have trained all week, ramping up to this game today. They're all pretty excited about playing in an all-star game.
And again, those are some of the problems you have is, we already talked before when we looked at the previous game, you sometimes change the snap counts, whatever. You've had all year to listen to your quarterback. Here, all these kids are listening to a different voice than they've heard before, during the course of the year.
You hear a lot of voices as Mackay Phillips trying to get out of the pocket, and he's tackled on the play.
Yeah, just the last couple of times he's gone back to throw, he just has had very little time to throw the ball. And look at that, right away,
Philip tackled by.
I don't see 82 on there.
And this past minute or so has dragged on. Dan will be 1st and 10 for the West Division All-Stars. They back this one up to the 35-yard line. J.J. Robinson. Lone back. 4 receivers coming off the line. They go with the pass. It's an option and wide open receiver on the play. That's a first down for the West Division All-Stars.
Well, that
Tricks
was
coming out of the bag.
That was the hitch pass right there, and that was 88 was the wide receiver that caught the pass.
And that's exactly correct. It was number 88 on the play.
Hassan Malik on the reception.
Yeah, Hassan Malik, and that's not the first time we've seen him in action, Dan.
That's the Western Tech quarterback, isn't it? Number 14.
What's J.J. Robinson back in the game?
J.J. Robinson.
Is that him?
No, both the quarterbacks are from here.
Oh, that's not the Western Tech quarterback?
No.
And
So we think maybe
Yeah, no, he had nobody pass to, started to scramble, just threw the ball out of bounds just to avoid taking a sack and losing any yardage.
ball on the 30-yard line.
And it stops the clock as well.
In the West Division, J.J. Robinson looking to go to the air again. And the ball was right there. It was gift wrapped.
Yeah, that was Daniel Stupor that had the ball go through him. And even though they've got their gloves on right now, when the temperature drops, the ball starts becoming a little slippier. We can see that it's getting a little cooler outside. You have to really focus on catching the ball, looking it all the way in your hands.
Third down situation. West Division's going to go for it. J.J. Robinson escaping a tackle, looking to go to the end zone on the pass, and it bounced off the receiver's helmet.
Israel Adu made a nice job defensively covering it right there.
Hassan Malik was the intended receiver on the play.
Well, he had nothing to lose, so he put it up. I mean, he put up a 50-50 ball, and you're right. It looked as though he might have just, Israel just got a hand on it, and it bounced off the receiver's head, right?
Well, it went off his hand and his head and hit the turf, and certainly he had it, Dan. If you can touch it, you can catch it.
Like I said, it's a 50-50 ball. It was a worthwhile attempt.
Are you serious? I'm sure it's Adam Carlson. Are you 100%?
So
He's supposed
the
to be
ball's
here.
at 35-yard line. Be
Maybe.
first and 10 for the East Division All-Stars with 16 seconds left.
He's supposed to be here. I don't think it's him, though.
They run it up the gut, and gang tackled on the play.
Well, clearly they're just trying to run up the clock here with just a few seconds left.
Galen Gray Stapleton on the carry.
Kalen Gray Stapleton is showing that he can dance around the defender, Stan. Second down and 6.
He has skills that I think a lot of universities would be interested in right now. We've already seen he has the ability to run with power.
And Mackay Phillips going to take a knee. That'll end the half.
And
As the East Division leads the West Division All-Stars 10-7 here in this second annual All-Star game, brought to you by Area 51 Sports as part of Metro Bowl month here at York University. Dan, your quick thoughts before we throw to a break.
Well, typically you see in all-star games it takes a little while for them to warm up and to figure out who are the players that are going to be able to make plays for them, who's been able to interpret the offenses well enough to internalize them. And I think in the second half you'll start seeing a few more plays being made as they make decisions as to who they think can make the plays going forward.
We're going to take a break in the action and come back with the second half. You're watching the All-Star game brought to you by Area 51 Sports from York University in Toronto. We'll be back right after this. We're back. And welcome back to York University as we get set for second half action here with the annual East-West All-Star Game in Toronto. Good look at the field as the players line up like the NFL style, Dan.
Well, it was said we've been debating, how effective this is at reducing injuries, whether it increases more exciting run backs. Where still I think the debate will still go on.
And this is a good run for the East. And
and right on cue, we get a nice little return there by Andres Canero.
Canero showing us some good speed out there and showing that he can handle the pressure, Dan. Because in this high-level game, that there's a lot more added pressure. You're performing before scouts and coaches here and people that are evaluating your performance.
Once you get on the field, though, your instincts just take over and you just go, right? You just do what you can, what the God-given gifts that you have.
10-7 as we come into this second half. Mackay Phillips on the handoff. And this is quite a run, and there was a high tackle on the play, and we see a couple of flags.
Well, I mean, the helmet's been taken off completely, so not only do we have a nice little run there by Kalen Stapleton, they're also going to get an additional 15 yards tacked on.
So we can see that again. Kalen Gray Stapleton certainly making a name for himself here in this All-Star game.
Well, clearly Mackay is the choice right now for quarterback, and we've said grade 10. We talked about earlier in the first half, a grade 10 student, good arm, can throw on the run.
West Division, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it'll be the penalty will lead to a first down. Dan, the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. The 39 to be exact. And the East Division All-Stars here in the second half. Those pivotal moments, we always talk about this, the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Well, we have a close game right now. And again, one of the issues with the All-Star game is you still have to play everybody. Everybody has to get their touches. That's the whole point of this. You come out, you practice, you deserve to play a little bit.
Mackay Phillips.
Hoping we've got a little bit of reverse
on this
and
one.
It looks like a reverse
pass. And the pass is caught. What a play. And looking at number 7 on the play, Carnero.
Yeah. Well, technically, they're not really supposed to be running special, trick plays. But we saw the West throw one in the first half, a hitch pass, and here we had a reverse pass. So I guess, I guess it's just one of those loose rules they're supposed to follow.
Nice play, as they set it up quite well. Donahue on the pass. Mackay Phillips again, they're pitching very quickly, going through the line like that.
Well, they ran their version of their little jet sweep there, just a little toss from the quarterback to the slot back coming on, running the jet formation there.
We got a West Division player down on the field.
Yeah, unfortunately, we only have one name, McKee, for the carrier there. I'm not sure what his first name is.
Looks like a player from the Richview team playing for the West Division All-Stars down on the field. Richview's always been a powerhouse for football here in Toronto. And that's going back a long time ago. Back to the days of Al Craigie, who now has a trophy named after him.
That's right,
the junior championship.
Correct.
Dan, you helped present that trophy yesterday as Western Tech defeated St. Michael's College School to win the Football Toronto Junior Championship.
Yeah, it was an exciting game yesterday at St. Mike's. It was close most of the way through, and then Western Tech at the end, just pulled away.
Just looking at the West Division player that's walking off the field. Able to go off on his own accord. This to be number 95. And that's Gabriel Cassie. So Cassie went down on the field. He goes off.
He's going off, as they say, under his own steam, so that's always a good thing.
Always a good thing. There's Mackay Phillips again being chased out of the pocket. He's going to take it himself. Tried to leapfrog the defender on the play.
Well, they were able to seal the defensive end who was coming in from the outside, and you can see he was able there to get outside of him. But still lots of pursuit, and he wasn't able to pick up the first down, but they'll.
There's Damian Nettune on the tackle. That's a really interesting way how they set up for that. With the kick through the uprights, it's good.
Field goal attempt is good.
So the East Division goes up. Another 3 points on the board.
It is now West Division 7, East Division 13.
13-7 as the East Division All-Stars lead the West Division here in this second annual All-Star game as part of Metro Bowl month here in the Greater Toronto area. And you can check out more information about Metro Bowl month by going to footballtoronto.org.
And as we said before, this is the culmination today of the month. After today, the only games that will be played by the GTA participants anyways will be in the OFSA Bowls down at Windsor.
Yeah, they play in that nice new stadium they have there at St. Clair College.
Correct.
And they do a great job down there hosting the event. Here's J.J. Robinson for the West All-Stars on the handoff. Looking to go outside on the play. Good acceleration. As this is Jay Shepard, and Shepard brings it out to the East 45-yard line. That's a first down for the West Division All-Stars.
That was a heck of a run that time by Jay. Like, he really showed good acceleration. Right here, look at that. You can just see just how he was able to just turn the corner there and you always like seeing those backs that have that extra gear that can get around.
Looking at the East Division All-Stars not able to contain Shepard on the play. J.J. Robinson in the pocket. He's being chased out of the pocket. 3 different defenders. He's able to escape them. and finally brought down on the play, close to a first down.
A really nice run that time by Robinson. He was able to elude a couple tackles. It looked like he was going to get trapped here a couple of times. Right there, broke the tackle, then picked up a really nice block right there. And he's close enough. He got the first down. Great run. Typically what you see in these games, though, is offenses sometimes take a long time to get going because the offenses, usually need more time. They need more reps, and they typically don't get enough practice time together. Remember, these are all people from different schools trying to learn a different system, whereas on defense, defense is usually a lot more uniform. I mean, you're going to have your 4 down linemen. They're going to go after the quarterback or the running back, and there's only usually a couple of different defenses that they're going to drop back into that are usually more universal among teams. Whereas each one of these schools has an offensive coordinator that's probably completely different from what what they're running right now. So it just makes it more difficult. So typically defenses are stronger than offenses in these type of formats.
J.J. Robinson off the snap. Again, escaping a couple of defenders. He's going to take it himself. He knows where the yardsticks are, and he gets it down to the 25-yard line.
And that's why something like here, where the quarterback just running on his own is so effective, right? Because it's just an individual effort. It's not like a plan, call, or play. It's an individual effort.
He certainly got through 5 different defenders on the play. There's J.J. Robinson in shotgun, faking the handoff to Shepard, and he'll go with the pass.
Yeah, we're going to have a holding penalty. They threw the little quick screen out to the wide receiver, but the man blocking in front clearly grabbed the
Holding West Division.
Yeah, you can see number 18 for the West clearly grabbed. That would be Nick Pagani, clearly grabbed the man, and
Nick Pagani trying to hide that penalty, but the officials were right there to make the call.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to commit a penalty, don't do it when the referee's standing right in front of you there like he did. But they're trying to make plays, right? I mean, it was a nice, again, these type of plays are the simpler type of plays that you can run. Just throw the quick screen out there, let the person use his athletic ability. Just held on to him a little bit too long.
So the ball placed at the 35-yard line. First and long for the West Division All-Stars. J.J. Robinson airing this one out. And it was intended for number 1, Lamar Kedro on the play. We'll look at the replay on this one. Dan, is J.J. Robinson not afraid to throw the ball?
Yeah, nice, a good toss. I think, again, that's the problem is that the two receivers just are not copacetic with each other. And, receivers sort of get an idea of when they have to turn and look for the ball from their quarterback or where they think the ball is going to come, right? And this is one of the difficulties you have in this format when you don't have, two players that have played together. The quarterback expects you to go one way and you go the other.
Wow, look out. Nice catch, nice tackle.
Of course, it's still going to be 10 yards short, even though they picked up close to 10 yards on the play.
Lamar Kedro on the catch. It was a nice solo tackle on the play.
Oh, really nice tackle. That time by Liam Massam.
So it'll be a 3rd down situation for the West Division All-Stars. It's another opportunity for J.J. Robinson to look to the end zone. He's not afraid to throw the ball.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't try kicking the field goal.
Escaping a tackle, he's going to go long distance into the end zone. And no, that's just not going to happen.
It was a good read. JJ just held on to the ball that fraction too long. Like he either had to throw it farther or he had to release the ball. He took that extra step up. He needed to throw the ball just a little bit sooner because he put the ball behind, even though the receiver that time,
Daniel Stupar, was the intended receiver.
He did have a step on him. He did have that initial step. You know, the ball had to be thrown to the back of the end zone, or he had to release it right away.
That's a very good man coverage as well. And no flag on the play. .450 left here in the third quarter of play. Dana McKeel, Dan Domenico bringing you the Area 51 High School All-Star Game from York University in Toronto. Mackay Phillips, hands off to go off tackle on the play.
So that was Elijah Felix. So Elijah Felix gets to carry the ball, and from the handoff from Mackay.
Ball placed at the 37-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the East Division All-Stars. Dan, we've seen some great players come through the high school football seasons here in Toronto, and Mackay Phillips going long distance into double coverage.
Yeah, he tried to throw that to Andres Carnero, but it was well covered. And again, you know, and again, the other thing you have to appreciate in these type of formats is that, you know, if you're a defensive back, the last thing you want to do is give up a long pass over your head, right? You know, I mean, so you're willing to probably play off a little bit, let them catch the ball underneath. And of course, the quarterbacks here just don't want to throw 5 or 10-yard passes. They want to air it out and make the big play.
Oh yeah.
So, you know,
oh for sure.
The nature of this is
and Mackay Phillips going to take it himself.
Whoa.
And he gets upended on the play, but hey, he gets up and he says, hey, that's a first down for the East Division All-Stars.
I tell you, Mackay, you know, he's sneaky fast. Look at, he tucks it sort of, eventually he tucks it, there we go, and then boom. But he can, fearless though, I'll tell you, I said, we've said this before, grade 10, he's a fearless kid.
I had a funny feeling he wanted to hurdle the defender. So the ball placed at the 54-yard line. East All-Stars, 1st and 10. Mackay Phillips, handoff. And they'll go off tackle for about 3-4 yards on the carry. It's number 45 on the carry, Elijah Felix.
Yeah, Elijah has taken over from Seal and Stapleton, and he's getting his chance in this quarter to show what he can. He's made a couple of nice runs in the few times he's been in here so far. And of course, on cue, he's coming off the field. So
2nd and 7 for the East Division All-Stars. They've been dictating the tempo here in the second half. And the pass is caught. That's number 4. We thought it was Adam DeNoble, but we're still trying to figure out who this player is. It was designated as Adam DeNoble in the lineup.
Well, we'll go with Adam because that's all we've got right now. What's his name?
Alfonso Kiala.
Alfonso Kiala.
As
okay.
we've been informed here in the press box. 3rd down situation. 3rd and 5 for the East All-Stars. And Mackay Phillips, a big reason why they're leading 13-7. Quick pass. And just through the arms of the intended receiver on the play, number 6, Quinn O'Donoghue.
Well, that's going to turn the ball over, and it'll give the West a chance to get back into this game. They're only down 6 points. And these type of formats, you know, it's just one play is all you need to for something to happen.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the West Division All-Stars with the ball placed on the 35-yard line.
And do we have JJ back out again? No, we don't. I think we have Joe Ferlito now is back in at quarterback.
Yeah, so we've seen that rotation between these 2 star quarterbacks. And this one was a hitch, just did not materialize. It was intended for number 1, Jay Shepard.
Yeah, they
51 falls incomplete.
Oh, that was, Lamar, sorry.
Lamar, was it Lamar Kedrell?
Yeah.
And the intended receiver on the play. 2nd and 10 for the West Division All-Stars. For Lido. And nice play, and he sees a wide open receiver on the play. This is
That's Nick
number-
Pagani.
Pagani on the play, and Nick Pagani got beyond that defensive back.
Number 18, Nick Pagani.
Nice fake right there. And you had the man coming under, and Nick just went over top. He has this interesting way of carrying the ball, I think, which they'll... But a great pass and a great reception, and they're already in field goal position. Clearly, Pagani is a polished, receiver out here who catches the ball well, runs good routes.
Micah Thomas, the defensive back on the play. And Lamar Kedrell, again for the West Division All-Stars. They're moving the ball pretty quick.
Solid
Dan.
run that time, yeah. And if I, and I know both JJ and Joe are getting a lot of time, but I believe it was it Ferlito that had our touch who gave him the first touchdown, right? He was the quarterback of the first in the first half. So
Yeah, that was in the second quarter where Jay Shepard had the TD with 5:20 left in the half. Looking to drive this one up the gut.
that's 25, Aiden Monroe.
So we're seeing some pretty good production from this West Division offensive unit right now, Dan, as they've moved quickly down the field.
Right, and I don't think we've called Aiden's names too often, but certainly it's the end of the third quarter, and the West here has a real chance to go out in front.
Lucas Crockford in on the tackle, that last tackle for the East Division All-Stars. 13-7 in this second annual Area 51 All-Star game from York University in Toronto. Dana McKeel, Dan Domenico, and a very cold production crew here on site at York. This is like Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And certainly a shout out to all our committee members who had taken part in last week's football games
Yeah, but
at
at least-
Varsity Stadium,
at
as
least
well
let-
as here at York.
I was going to say, at least Lambeau Field has the heated tubes underneath the underneath the field, right? I mean, so
Very good point there. Very good point.
and I'm sure they've got a heater inside their press box.
It certainly keeps the turf clean while there's 7-foot drifts aside the stadium. So second down situation. A little bit of a delay by the officials. I guess they thought it was a commercial break. And the play's whistled in. Here's the West Division All-Stars. Fake on the handoff.
Oh,
And it's caught. This is Lamar Kedrell. Dances around a couple of defenders. Gets over one. That's a pretty good dance by Lamar Kedrell.
yeah, and a nice little fake by Ferlito and a catch by Lamar. But you can see just as he caught the ball, he slipped a little bit, which allowed that crucial sort of a quarter of a second he needed to be able to make his break right there. And by that time, you'd seen the defensive players have all converged on him.
James Waddell.
So I mean, he picked up a couple of yards, but I think that slip probably cost him at least 5 or 6 yards. He would have been close to the goal line.
Third down. West Division All-Stars.
But right on cue, that was you alluding to. It was like Lambeau Field out there. So,
Oh, yeah. Joe Ferlito.
oh, he's got
in
him wide
shotgun.
open.
And
Oh no!
the pass, and it's ruled incomplete.
No,
That
no,
was
he caught the
Lamar
ball.
Kedrell. Are you sure, Dan? Because
No, he just.
let's take a look at this again with the
I
ball.
think he just tripped over the white line. That's all. Like,
Is that what he did?
Yes. Watch.
Let's take a look at this.
Yeah,
he
see,
was
he
able
caught
to
it.
hold on to it. Good catch by
you know
Lamar
what it was?
Kedrell.
It looks like it was maybe one of those darn soccer lines, that tripped him up, right? So.
Lamar Kedrell showing the athletic ability
you
to
can
hold
see
on to the
you
ball.
can see Lamar is definitely frustrated here because he knew he had a touchdown if he just kept his feet.
That would have been end zone all the way. Instead, the ball's brought out to the 35-yard line, and the East Division takes over. Here are the East All-Stars. High snap. And they'll bring it back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think there was any gain on the play.
And we got Joe Nash back in for his second half appearance. We'll see if he can move the team down the field.
Definitely have to trace him to see if his roots are to Steve Nash, the NBA legend.
Or Crosby still is a Nash, you know, from he was originally with the Hollies, right?
Dan, we're going so deep, way beyond the high school parameters, that's for sure. Crosby still's a Nash.
I could have added Young, a good Canadian boy, you know.
Good point there.
Oh.
And the East Division, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Joe Ferlito just trying to make something out of nothing.
Joe Nash there, remember
Joe Nash,
how
pardon
can
me.
you forget Nash?
Yeah, who can forget?
Right, no, he tried to make something out of nothing there, and but, you know, again, as I said, usually what you find in here is that, you know, the defensive lines tend to be the most dominant feature of the game, right?
Third down situation for the East Division All-Stars, and they're going to run it, Dan. Yeah, forget the special teams units.
They're going to. You see, they did the little jet sweep. The timing, though, again, this is one of those things you see that, you know, the entire jet sweep sort of concept relies on on a slot back that is flying at top speed or through the formation, and the timing has to be perfect between the snap and the quarterback handing him the ball. Because what a lot of teams do when they're running this jet sweep is they don't even block that onside end. They just assume that the running back is going so fast that the end can't react, and so they send their blockers out past them to get up the field. But in this case, he was so slow that, you know, the end just collapsed on the play, and the play died right there. But and again, this is again a problem of not so much the athletes, but the fact that they don't have enough time to practice the timing, right?
And timing is so important, especially when running these offensive and defensive sets. Shotgun. And West Division looking to go outside and into the West Division bench.
Solid run that time.
Looking at Deshaun James.
Yep. Well, and we've called his name several times. You know, I really like his running style. Like, he keeps his feet moving. He's sort of close to the ground, and he just seems to find the holes without flashiness. You know, and yet, right there, he picked up a first down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the West. The East has been dictating the pace of the game so far, but here's the West Division. And they run into a wall.
And that's Deshaun again. That's Deshaun again.
James on the carry again. Tackle by number 54, Carter Longley.
Carter Longley on the tackle. So the ball will be placed at the 47-yard line. 2nd down for the West Division All-Stars. 7 minutes and counting here in this All-Star game. Escape around a couple of tacklers, and he's brought down.
Well, Ferlito was able to escape the first man, but I mean, virtually the end came in untouched and put a lot of pressure on him, so he had to bail right away. And, you know, as soon as you have to bail, you know, you're now running for your life, and he was just barely able to get past the line of scrimmage. At least he saved, you know, a 5 or 6 yard loss.
3rd down for the West Division All-Stars. We're at midfield. Here's Joe Ferlito in shotgun. Ferlito looking to go to the air, and it's picked off. The East Division's got the ball. And a lot of speed on the return. Wow.
Ferlito's pass picked off by number 9, Liam Messam-Barton.
Liam Messam-Barton on the interception, and It'll be 1st and 10 for the East Division.
Well, let
in
me tell
good
you.
field position.
Well, let me tell you, the person that set up this play was Paul Carter, the defensive end for the East, who's lining up on sort of the left side of the defensive line. He has just been beating his man time after time and putting huge pressure on the quarterback. And that time he forced the quarterback to throw before he wanted to, and it ended up in an interception.
And they just ran that one into a wall of defense. The West Division standing up on the play.
Right. And again, one of the advantages that the defenses have in this type of formation is that you can clearly see that Paul is not even caring about the run right now. He is just lining up and going hell-bent for the quarterback. One of the reasons is that you want to make a sack in this type of thing, right? And he's just beating his man on an outside rush every time, and the quarterback for the last couple of series, and happened to be for Lido's, had to really speed up his throws or bail out in the pocket quickly.
Kalen Gray Stapleton on the play, and here's the East Division again on the run.
And you could see the timing was much better on that jet sweep, right? So Andreas Carnero, caught the ball in stride as he was running at almost full speed, and consequently picked up almost 9 yards on this. Watch, see, look at the speed there, almost in full speed, and you can see the tailback, comes out and lead blocks for him. So that was Kalen Stapleton. Grace, I should say, yes. Kalen Gray Stapleton got out in front and also provided blocking. And so you get him going at full speed, you get the tailback out in front, if you catch the edge, you can make a lot of yardage.
They're just going to push this one forward. And that appears to be a first down for the East Division All-Stars.
Is the tush push illegal? So technically, the tush push, as we saw there, is not exactly legal in certainly in high school football here, but we'll. So as Ted Goldberg has told me here, you can push the pile, you cannot push the ball carrier. So, I mean, that is a bit of a gray area, but nonetheless, we have a first down for the East.
So 1st and 10 for the East Division All-Stars. Mackay Phillips has done a great job in game management here today as a grade 10 student, showing all kinds of maturity at the quarterback position.
And that's Kalen Stapleton again, just Gray Stapleton. Every time he touches the ball, he does something worthwhile with it.
Dan, he's got that build to be a strong running back as well.
We've seen he has power, and he has power, and he has good balance, and plus he has that sort of that extra little bit of speed to get to the outside.
Missed on a face mask on that previous play. High snap, and Mackay Phillips is going to take it himself. He's looking to go to the end zone. And that's a touchdown for the East Division All-Stars. He called his own number with 2:34 left in the ballgame.
That was really close. I'll be interested to see a replay. Well, he made a fantastic play. I'm not sure if he actually got to the end zone or not. Let's take a look. Yeah, I would say it was very close.
Take a look at...
They're putting it on the 1 yard line, but regardless, that was a heck of a run that time by Mackay Phillips.
A lot of celebrations there, and they looked at the officials who had his arms up, that sideline official. So they're in... And Mackay Phillips is going to push it through. That is a touchdown for the East Division All-Stars.
Yeah.
2:16 left here in the ball game.
Yeah, a nice drive that time by the East again, and they're going to go up by a 2 scores here. But, it was sort of a combo, quarterback combo that time. Joe Nash and Mackay were both involved. The Mackay finished it off there. A nice run before by Kalen Gray Stapleton, and then that really nice run by Mackay Phillips to put it down to the 1 yard line, and then Mackay punched it in from the 1 yard for the QB quarterback sneak for the touchdown.
Kick through the uprights. That's Ryan Webb. So Webb has accounted for 4 points of the 20 that are on the board here today.
Well, and we've got 2 minutes and 16 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. We need the West to step up here and make a big play or two to make this close as we get near the end of the game.
The East Division All-Stars won it last year, and they're looking to make a statement here again tonight at York University here in Toronto. Dan, we've had quite a day of great football.
Well, we've had the good weather. We've had really good weather for most of November, certainly for all the playoffs that we've seen. And you're right, especially when you put all the great players that we've seen on the field today, just not in this game, but in all 3 games, you're going to get a little bit of excitement and you're going to see some great plays, and we've certainly seen that in abundance today.
Please stand behind the yellow line.
And again, we set up with the NFL format. Now, is this something that the district's school board will adopt in the future? No way.
You're asking the wrong person. So
I thought I was asking the right person.
I don't make the rules. So. Well, no, as we've discussed so far, it's interesting to see because I think, the whole point of this type of format is to reduce the amount of injuries you get from the long runs and the collisions of people blocking or tackling, right? And the whole idea is, I think, if you have the shorter run, you're going to have, you're not going to have the intensity of collision. But I don't know. I think the jury's out on that, and I'm not sure. If the CFL was to completely adopt it, maybe it would filter down to the universities and the high schools, but that's the way these rules usually work.
Jay Shepard on that last carry. Hayden Lindquist making the tackle. That was a very solid tackle on his part. Whoa. And wow, look out. That was a solid tackle as well.
Jay Shepard on the carry. Number 59, Tristan Downey with the tackle.
This is Tristan Downey making a statement.
Downey certainly downed him there. Wow, what a great hit.
He had his license plate number. So the ball placed at the 31-yard line. 32 to be exact in the West Division with 1:06 left in the ball game. Looking to make something happen, Dan.
Well, then again, remember in this format, you want to make sure everybody's had a chance to play. Everybody, you want to try to give everybody everybody at least a touch, certainly when you're on offense. Same thing on defense. You want to make sure everybody's had their chance to cycle in and play because, everybody that's come out to here is certainly qualified and, is representing their school and also their board. And it's certainly a privilege to be playing out here in these All-Star games.
And that's a big thing too, Dan. The pride and the privilege to be able to play here. Great opportunity. And the West Division not going anywhere.
Yeah, it looks like
Paul Carter in on the tackle for the East Division All-Stars.
Yeah, certainly J.J. Robinson didn't have anywhere to go there, and
No, you're good. Oh, yeah, I know.
And J.J. Robinson has got the clock winding down. They're looking for one last opportunity, and they're going to go with the option, and they loft it up in the air. And is that a catch? The officials are ruling that he was out of bounds on the play. It's number 88 on the reception, Hassan Malik.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, for right now, Paul Carter has just been a handful. I mean, he is almost coming in at will every time. And while he might have caught the ball there, it looks as though you're right. Must have just had his foot on the out of bounds line. But certainly, as I said, Paul Carter has just been streaming in from his, I guess, from the offensive point of view, from the right end position, and they really haven't had an answer to be able to stop him from getting in at the quarterback. And he's been rushing the quarterback, certainly in this second half, almost on every down.
Well, the East Division realizes they're just going to run out the clock. It's wound down. as they take the ball at the 35 and they call the game. That is the end of the second annual All-Star Game presented by Area 51 Sports. 20-7 East Division takes
Thanks,
it
Ted.
over the West Division All-Stars. Dan, quick comment before we wrap it up.
Well, you know what? It's always a pleasure just watching games like this. You just want to be able to put individuals in a position where you can see what they can do. And on several times today, we saw great plays made by these individual athletes, you know, who are certainly out here, as we said, representing their schools and their boards, and certainly they're representing themselves.
And
Thanks, Coach.
Take a look at Mackay Phillips, who we certainly agree as a nominee, if not the MVP of this All-Star Game.
Well, you know, it's hard to, like I said, for a grade 10 kid, and, you know, he was dynamic out there, and he certainly made some big plays, right? And it's hard when you have a galaxy of, you know, veritable stars out there, right? As I said, on defense, as I said, I made particular note of Paul Carter and his ability to put pressure on the quarterbacks from the defensive side, but as you said, I think Mackay Phillips was certainly, made some big plays out there, showed some great skills, and along with Kalen Stapleton, I thought, you know, who ran the ball very well, you know, certainly the East was full value for their win today. But, you know, in this type of game, it's not really about who wins, right? But we just get the chance to see, you know, all these players play and be able to demonstrate, you know, their abilities.
Well, they're off to tremendous futures if they continue to play like what we saw here tonight at York University.
Well, you know, certainly even just listening to some of the coaches that were up here in the booth with us, you know, that are recruiters, you know, from the various universities, you know, you could just see, you know, already their minds are thinking about what some of these young men will be able to do for their program, and that's why they're here, you know, to recruit. And of course, you know, what usually happens in these type of games has happened right now. Even before the game is over, all these coaches have left the booth here to get down on the field because they want to start talking to all the players. And you know, if on your screen you might be able to see that they're all ready to pounce on these players and talk to them, and you know, and hopefully entice them to come to their universities.
Well, the teams are going to line up on their respective 50-yard lines. We're going to wrap things up here on YouTube with the All-Star Game presented by Area 51 Sports. For Dan Domenico and an All-Star production crew, I'm Dana McKeel saying so long from York University in Toronto. We'd like to thank our sponsors as we wrap this up as well: the Royal Canadian Legion, Football Toronto, NFL Canada, Toronto Argonauts, Area 51 Sports, University of Toronto Varsity Blues, York University Lions, CIUT Radio 89.5 FM, and the Royal Canadian Legion. Thank you again, and we'd also like to thank the W.L. Mackenzie Band, led by Jennifer Scott Barnett, for being able to perform here today under extreme wind conditions. Outstanding performance. We're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for tuning into YouTube for this broadcast. Bye for now.
Gentlemen, congratulations on another fantastic All-Star game. In his second year, East continues to dominate.
Especially the gymnastics you had to go through just to find the names on the thing. Oh my God, you know, like. Oh, God, thank you. Again,
Not a
that's
problem.
awesome. Is this your piece of paper, or do you care? That's just.
Oh, I'll take that. Yeah. No, I'll take that.
So, thank you very much.
My notes, I keep them all. And I'll put that one in there. I bet you $20 those cookies will be eaten by the time I get in.
But they're for you, okay? Remember,
Yes.
we made a point. They're just for you, okay?
I know. Kathy is a superstar. All right. Is there any pizza left in, or did they eat them all? Is there?
Tristan Downey, Brian Webb, and
Okay.
Mackay fellas.
I'm going to go through this press box just to make sure it's nice and clean. Otherwise, Manny will kill us.
Fair.
Slices there. And there's a couple of pieces there, so there. Okay, tell us what. Here, we'll put everything into this one box.
Okay. I'll take the others.
And there you go. These should be all. Oh, wait a second.
Oh, those are cheese.
That's all right. Just throw it all in here, doesn't matter.
Sure.
If anybody wants the pizza, they can take it. Oops. Oh,
I got it.
got it? Okay. Take the whole thing away. Okay.
No, somebody spilled.
Oh, did it?
It was Campbell.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It was.
It was Campbell.
It
yes.
was?
Oh yeah, Campbell. I couldn't believe it.
What a guy. He is a very special individual.
Yes, sir, he is.
All you have to know is he's going to call you at midnight and then want to talk to you for an hour.
Oh, jeez, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those?
Every night.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks again. And
Thank
everything
you.
was great.
Dan the man.
You guys did a wonderful job there.
Thank you.
Okay, Dana. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Yes, we sure will. We sure will.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
I'm going to put on my gloves here. This is pretty cold. Oh, we'll put that in my bag here. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. All that work. And you guys do a great job at managing all this. This is a lot of work.
Gentlemen, thank you again. That concludes tonight. And good one.
And thank you, fans, for supporting football here in the Toronto region. We thank you for coming out to today. We thank you for braving the cold weather. As you leave us tonight, please travel home safely, and we'll see you again next season for more Toronto football in Toronto.
All right. Chris, major thanks.